Hello, this is mufcMPB YouTube. I'm your host, Ash Meppers. And let's talk about the game that just went on 2-1 to Manchester United against Sheffield United. What was all that about? I mean, that first 40 minutes was horrendous. Some of the worst football I've seen from Manchester United in a long time. Just no cohesion, no kind of togetherness. The chemistry wasn't there. It looked like it was a bunch of randomly assembled strangers that had never played together, never been coached. It was poor. It was really poor. And we was lucky not to be 2 or 3 down. We eventually get the goal through McTominay for a stroke of luck, which has been the case with McTominay over the last couple of games for us. And we go in. We go up 1-0. Then Sheffield United, in typical Manchester United style, what was it, 3-4 minutes? They get a penalty. Should it have been a penalty? Probably it should have been a penalty. I mean, you're looking at it and you think, well, it looks like it's in the natural silhouette of his body, which the refs like to hear, they like to see. Had Michael Oliver not have given the penalty, I don't think VAR would have said go to the monitor and go and have a look. So we could consider ourselves a little bit unlucky there, but he gave the penalty, after he seen his arm, fly up after it being hit by the ball. Just a typical Manchester United not being able to close down the cross or get to the man before the ball gets into the box. So that took us to, 1-1? The rest of the game, from 1-1, it was looking like we could go on to score another goal or two. Bruno Fernandes hit the bar from a free kick. The ball crossed, beautiful ball from Marcus Rashford across the box. Rasmus Højlund just split seconds away from getting his foot to it. Unfortunate, really. Desperate to see him score that Premier League goal now. I think we're still waiting for that one, aren't we? So overall, Amrabat I felt had a very good performance. Dalot defensively looked a little bit wobbly. I mean, the whole back line looked wobbly. I mean, Lindelof looked poor. Johnny Evans, really. I mean, we're playing with Johnny Evans and Maguire. They're not good enough. But what we needed today, we just needed to get across the line. We're desperate to get our injured list back. Get players like Varane. I mean, I know it's going to be a long wait for Lisandro Martinez, but getting him back is going to be massive for us. Also in the midfield, Casemiro. Today, Amrabat kind of fit in for him. Amrabat, I thought, played well today. I thought he controlled the play in moments, in spells. Whenever he was on the ball, he looked assured, he looked confident, he looked like he knew where his next ball was. He felt confident receiving the ball, asking for the ball. So I was happy with Amrabat's performance. Bruno in the first 30 minutes was horrendous. I've got to be honest. He was poor. He would Hollywood balls, risky passes, low percentage shots, low percentage passes. Passes that really you need to kind of just keep the ball, keep possession for the first 20, 25, 30 minutes. Just build yourself into the game rather than constant balls over the top, trying to push their back line further deeper. And okay, I understand that potentially that's a tactic, but I don't like that tactic, especially when we're under the cosh. It's looking a little bit stressful. It's looking a little bit worried, like we potentially are going to go and concede. We want to control possession and kind of dictate the play from midfield. But McTominay, again, other than his initial goal in that first half, he was kind of, ghosted, didn't he, really? Let's be honest. So, Anthony, I thought he looked dangerous in little spells. Too selfish for me. He's very frustrating. He gets on the ball, and when he receives the ball, instead of thinking, right, who can I provide? Who can I assist? He's thinking, right, how do I score? And he's not a prolific goal scorer, so I don't understand where he's got this attitude from. I think he's much better when you see him delivering the ball into the box, like you saw with the ball into Rashford, which was then fed across to Højlund, which he wasn't able to finish, unfortunately. So in the first half, it was poor from Manchester United. It was as bad as half as really you're going to see. Second half, again, first 15, 20 minutes, poor. Brewster came out, pop shot from about 25 yards out, ball swerving all over the place. Onana looking like, he was going to be causing all sorts of calamities and issues at the back like we've seen from him in recent times. So, yeah, it was not looking like anything had changed in the second half. Then we started to get onto the ball a little bit more. Lindelof moved a little bit into the midfield. Lindelof as a left back, it's just a bizarre situation seeing him play as a left back. He's not played much of it in his career. He has played right back, but seeing him as a right-footed left back, for some reason he wants to attack more than I've ever seen from Reguilon or Luke Shaw. So what that's about? Maybe because he just don't want to get back because he knows, defending off that right foot as a left back, as he was in the first half, he was just poor and weak. He actually went on to go and assist the winner. But yeah, it was a frustrating night really for Manchester United fans. Again, we got the win. That was the main important thing. We just want to see wins on the board right now. That's what we need to while we get a few players back from injuries. We've got Colby, Mainu coming back potentially next week or so. Reguilon to come back. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who's looking like potentially will be in a week or two. So we're hopeful. Also, seeing Højlund be brought off at 65 minutes, I think it was. A lot of fans will be thinking, well, why has he brought him off? I think that was just because he was nursing like a small injury from the San Marino game. You'd heard that he was getting targeted in that game, so to be taken off was understandable. But in the second half, we had a few chances. There was a moment where Anthony drove the ball into Bruno, and then Bruno passed it over to Marcus Rashford off his left foot, just sails a little bit wide. Amrabat smashes the ball against the bar. Beautiful chance. And then eventually the goal from Dalot won the goal. Miraculous again. Like I was saying earlier, it was an assist from Victor Lindelof. Beautiful pass into Dalot, and you always see Dalot generally take those shots from 20 yards, 25 yards, and you're thinking just pass the ball. Just keep recycling it. He takes the shot and it for once nails it in the top right corner. Beautiful, beautiful goal, and that takes us to 2-1. And at that point, all I'm thinking is, don't concede. Just focus, boys. Focus up. Don't concede. And we did. We focused. Ten Hag made a few changes. Took off Rashford. Brought on Mason Mount. Mason Mount came in. Kind of helped with a little bit of the kind of shoring up the defence. So all in all, can't say it was a great performance. Standouts, I'd look to Aaron Maguire had a good game. Onana felt, apart from that iffy save from Ryan Brewster, I felt like Onana had a decent game. And Amrabat controlling and dictating the play whenever he got the ball. He looks assured. I feel like he just needs more of a better passer in the midfield. Someone a little bit more who can make some interchanges with and kind of progress the ball. Bruno, not one of his bests, although his numbers weren't too bad, but I feel like too many speculative efforts for him today. Again, in a match where you need to control possession, so it's an interesting one, really. What happens against Man City? We've got Copenhagen coming up on Tuesday. It's going to be interesting to see how we go against Copenhagen, because that's going to be a tough game in itself. And then we've got Man City the weekend on Sunday. I mean, they're different games, aren't they? Against Sheffield, sometimes you get players struggling to motivate themselves for these kind of games, and that should never be the case when you're wearing a Manchester United shirt, obviously in the Man United badge, but you've seen that in the past with this team. So on Sunday, will that happen against Man City at Old Trafford? Crowd roaring. I should be at that game. I'll be at the Copenhagen game. I'd love to hear your thoughts, what you thought about the game. Let us know in the comments. Make sure you like if you've not already. Subscribe. And thank you very much for watching. Come on, United.